Hey everybody, it's John DePietro, and you know, it is December, and December isn't December unless for like the last 30 years you had an opportunity to attend one of Kenny Rogers' famous, legendary Christmas shows. And you might not be able to attend the show this year. However, we're giving you the opportunity to listen to some of that great music that was made popular by Kenny. And what I want to do is introduce you to the people that have put this brand new, look at, here's the way we do this. Every day's Christmas. I just ducked down a little bit and let me introduce you to the man in the hat, Chuck Jacobs, member of Kenny's band for what, Chuck? Over 40 years?
I was Kenny with Kenny for 40 years.
40 years.
And not long after Kenny retired, in fact, in 2019, we decided that we would have the Kenny Rogers Band continue. And Don Gatlin, who is also with us today, called and said, geez, you know,
I need Kenny. Do you need a Kenny?
Well, he didn't say that exactly.
I did not say that.
But Don with his group Savannah Jack opened up for Kenny some 66 times.
Exactly. 66. We counted each show.
In addition to that, Kenny recorded 2 songs that Don wrote. So Don has a very intimate connection with Kenny and loved him all his life. And so he said it would just be the honor and a dream come true if he could work and sing the Kenny Rogers songs with the Kenny Rogers Band. So we put together a show. It's called the Kenny Rogers Band Presents Through the Years with Don Gatlin. And so far, we have done several shows. We just did in September, we were in Las Vegas for 3 days to a very successful run there. In fact, it was so successful, the next day after we left, they hired us back for the next year. So it's exciting.
It was gratifying. Vegas, Chuck, was the one thing that's it's still a word of mouth town. It always has been. And the fun thing, the person in charge of the venue said, well, Sunday's going to be probably your smallest crowd because Sunday's a slow night at the casino, but it's also a word of mouth town. So we had such a great show on Friday and another great show on Saturday that we had our biggest crowd on the Sunday, which is opposite of what normally happens. But the word of mouth got around so quick that we had a huge crowd there. And then, like Chuck said, after the show was over, he said, I want more dates. Let's do it.
So that was really exciting. And the word of mouth for Vegas is in and of itself is great, but it also opens the possibility and the likelihood of other casinos around the country booking us, which we're really looking forward to.
And you've got a lineup of dates coming up in February, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, but I know we want to do, because you know what, we arranged this interview in December and you've got the Christmas CD that's out. It's, you know, it's still early enough to make it a great Christmas gift idea. But first I want to ask you this, why, guys, you know, well, let me ask you, let me turn it the other way around. This is the time of the year, Chuck, that you were never home from like Thanksgiving to December 23rd. Did you feel as though you wanted to get back into that Kenny Rogers Christmas spirit? And
I'll have to say it was a strange feeling to not get ready to go on the road about 11th of November, which happens to be my birthday, because we would go out about that time doing rehearsals, and then the day after Thanksgiving we would start doing performances with Kenny right up, like you say, to the day before Christmas. So we got together as a band and said, you know what, let's work up a Kenny Rogers Band featuring Don Gatlin Christmas album, Christmas CD. And with the expert arrangements and production of Randy Dorman, our guitar player, we've put together a new CD called Every Day's Christmas, which is a song that Don wrote.
Yep.
And so Chuck, let's do this. Let's cut right to the sound. Can you show our audience something here about, can we listen to something?
Well, I think what might be fun, I love the arrangement that Randy did, a unique arrangement on Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. So let's play it about 20 seconds of that.
There we go. Cool.
He knows when you're away. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
So that was an example of just that one song, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
That was Barbara Mandrell on saxophone. Oh, was it? No, was it? Okay.
No, I don't think it was that time, but she does play saxophone.
She does play good saxophone.
Either
But-
that or Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, guys, you know what? Before we go any further with this interview, we're talking about the Kenny Rogers Band and, featuring Don Gatlin. Don, why don't you do this? Why don't you introduce the other members of the band so that they can get their moment in the lights?
Well, we got, let me go. I'm gonna go the other, in concert, I always do the youngest members to the oldest. I mean, not oldest in age, but just been with them the longest.
Okay.
I'm gonna go the other way. Steve Glassmeyer is in the band still. He wrote Love or Something Like It, which was a #1 song to attract telephones.
Yep.
And
That's Steve calling right now to say,
that's
you
Steve
better
calling right now
mention
to
my
say,
name.
listen, I wrote, yeah. But he wrote that song with Kenny Rogers, which went #1. Steve was a big part of the writing the songs with Kenny on, I think, one of the best shows ever put together. Kenny's Christmas story, yeah, the workshop thing that he put together. Steve wrote a lot of those songs, and I think I saw that show and it blew me away. I was already a gigantic Kenny Rogers fan, and that's one of those special things I've ever seen at the holiday season. And also, of course, like Chuck mentioned, the Kenny Rogers Christmas show with the band was second to none. I saw that show too, and it was one of the best Christmas shows, if not the best Christmas show I ever saw. But Steve was a big part of that. Been with the band since '76. And then Randy Dorman joined in '77. And again, just solid as a rock. It's one of those guys you just, you can count on, never makes a mistake. If he does, he don't let you know about it. He's just an amazing member of the group, and was doing a lot of artist thing on his own, which he still does. He still does his own music too. And then of course, Chuck, which everyone knows, when Chuck joined the band, that's when it went another level. That's when the Gambler, that's
Right after that, Chuck.
The Gambler comes out, Chuck
you
joins the band. It's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. And again, Chuck has such an amazing background in all musical forms, which you can tell on this record, on this Christmas record, because you hear all the blues, the jazz, not just country. Chuck can play all those. He's mastered all those forms of styles on the bass. And this record, you can really, Chuck gets to show his chops because he can play all those things. With Kenny, he had to play all the great hits, which was mainly pop and country. This shows the amazing things that Chuck can do besides the country pop genre. It shows, like I said, jazz, blues, rock, everything's on there that Chuck can do. And like I said,
guys.
Yes. And then we got, actually next would be Gene Siskel on the piano. Gene joined at the beginning of the '90s and went through all that and all those cool things with the resurgence of Kenny on the top of the charts. Gene got to go through all that experience. And of course, Gene's background, he played with the Judds, played with the great Eddie Rabbitt, did all those kind of great things. And he's still rocking it. And then we got Brian Franklin on guitar. Brian owns a couple guitars. No, I'm kidding. Brian does a great job. Amazing, comes from a great family of music, and just a great guitarist who really adds a lot, especially live. He has such a great tone and great musical style of his own. And then we got Mike Zimmerman on drums, who just rock solid, played with a lot of great country artists in the past, like Earl Thomas Conley, Eddie Raven, other great artists. So you combine that all together. Am I forgetting anybody, Chuck?
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, myself. Well, this is my 40th anniversary in show business. I started, my brother and I put together a band and started working full time 40 years ago. And I've never stopped doing what I do. I've been very lucky and blessed. One of the highlights of my life was to see a guy who I wanted to meet someday, was Kenny Rogers. I mentioned before. I saw him at the Campfield Fair in Ohio. I saw Chuck in 1979 with Kenny at the Campville Fair in Ohio, and then got to be on stage with Chuck and the guys for an unfortunate situation in 1990 when Reba lost her band in a tragic plane crash. She did a big benefit and she wanted to close the night out with Kenny Rogers in the band. And at the end of the show was Kenny came up with the idea to do "Lean on Me," the great Bill Withers song. It was a fitting song to kind of join everybody to get through this tragic event. And Kenny asked my brother and I to come up on stage with T. Graham Brown and the Gatlin, Rudy Gatlin and Dave and Sugar, and sing the song with them. So that was my first time on stage with Kenny. And then 10 years later, I wrote a song for Kenny on the There You Go Again album.
Okay.
And then it kept going from there. And then he asked us to go on the road, and that's where it all kept going.
Okay, so Chuck, this is kind of like that show Live by Request in New York City. I'll be the guy there, the what do you call it? Whatever his name was. But Chuck, how about another sample of something that people can expect on this CD?
Now, Don mentioned the jazz influence, and I always thought that as a band, we certainly played a lot of the country hits, all the country hits, but we're not limited to just that style. And Randy is a great jazz guitarist himself and made a tasty arrangement of the song Favorite Things. So here's a little bit of that one.
Yeah.
This happens to be my brother Dan playing trumpet on that too.
Right.
Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles, warm wooden kettles, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies, crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells, and schnitzel's with noodles, wild geese to fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my
Okay, so Chuck, let me ask you another question. I heard that Don put something together, wrote a song on his own for this. Do we have the privilege to hear that tonight?
That's right, and that's also is the title song of the CD, "Every Day's Christmas." So here's a little bit of that
Every
one.
day's Christmas.
Yeah.
You're here with me. Don't need no chestnuts or presents under the tree. Peace on earth, what I believe. Every day's Christmas. You're loving me. Sun's beating down. There's trouble all around. It's not
Hey.
much to say.
Right on. Hey,
Yeah, I love that. That came off really great.
let me ask you guys this question, because I think everybody who's ever been involved in the making of a Christmas CD, you have to make them not like between Thanksgiving and Christmas. You have to make them usually off season. Don, do you remember, actually both of you, guys remember the time of year when you put this baby together? Was it middle of summer?
Probably.
Yeah,
I think it was middle of summer. It was super hot, you know.
Right, trying to get in the mood.
I do want to say real quick, again, in my opinion, Kenny Rogers made the greatest country Christmas records I've ever heard. Elvis Presley, but the only one I think of that I loved so much, as much as I love the Kenny Rogers Christmas records. The first one came out in '81, and it just blew my mind how great it was, how much effort was put into it, so much love into it. It wasn't just a throwaway record. It was a serious record. It was a great album, and he kept doing that all through the late '90s into the 2000s. Just these wonderful, wonderful, great records. And I think Chuck, I might even played on the first Christmas record, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and then on the ones in I think it was '98 that there was a album that came out that we also played on. It was
I said I didn't know that. Yeah.
a lot of fun, you know.
So we're just trying to keep that tradition alive too, make a great Christmas record in the spirit of Kenny Rogers himself. You know, at the level that he, you know,
in the coming years, I should mention that one of the things we're going to have is next year around this time we'll be having a Christmas tour, and having a Christmas show of our own, which will be a lot of fun. And that sort of leads us into what's coming up in 2022 and what we have coming up in February of 2022. We're going to be in South Florida for 5 days.
Yes.
And I would encourage people, anybody watching this that wants to know where we're at, just check out KennyRogersBand.com.
Yep.
And you'll see a scroll going across the top with dates. But in addition, there's a link that says schedule, and you can click on that and see the schedule of the different cities that we're performing in.
And you know what? You don't have to be from South Florida to go to those shows, because what we're doing, what my wife and I are doing, because the shows are consecutive nights, what, February 22, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, 22 through 26.
Yeah, 23rd through 26th, 22nd through 26th, maybe.
Right. And they're all within 50 miles of each other. We're flying down from New England in
Nice.
the middle of February and try to get as many shows in as possible. So you know what? Maybe you want to give yourself. We certainly want to tell people that they can buy this CD right now. And Chuck, I want you to give me that address in just a second.
Yeah, it's real easy. If you go to the KennyRogersBand.com/everydays-Christmas. Now, that's the actual address. But if you go to the homepage of KennyRogersBand.com, which I'm
You can
going
order
to
it right
now,
there.
so you'll be able to see it. Come on, that'll come up in a second. If you go there, then if you just click on buy this Christmas CD, it'll go right to that page. Allows you to hear the samples and of course buy it. And this actually has a video. I'll play just a little bit of Every Day's Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Every day's Christmas. You're here with me. Don't need no chestnut or presents under the tree. Peace on earth.
So that gives you a little sample of what it is. And then you can go there and buy them. And as you see at the top here, the scrolling of all the dates that we have booked right now. And we just heard Don just told me we have another 13 shows that have
Just
come
added,
in
yeah.
that we haven't put on the schedule yet, but they'll be on there. So continue to check KennyRogersBand.com and come out and see us.
And those shows are going to be in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Delaware, and Texas.
Oh, that'd be great. That's going to be great. And we always try to hang out afterwards and shake people's hand and take pictures if you'd like. And
Bring food.
that's right. I want to point out on the Christmas CD, we only have a limited quantity right now.
That's right.
So it's going to be the first come, first serve. So if
Don't be disappointed.
if you want to order them, get in and order it soon.
Yep. And I joke about food. Hopefully when the Florida shows come up, we won't just be eating Twizzlers after the show. I know that Twizzlers was the sponsor of that show.
That was fun.
I grabbed about 10 bags of Twizzlers and came home with them in our RV. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to relive the Christmas spirit that Kenny Rogers was so famous for, I mean, what was it, 30 years of those Christmas shows, Chuck?
At least 30. I think it was 35. I think it was 1985 that we first started doing them.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And there were so many great people that came on to those shows as their special guest during that time period. And you get to relive it all with that CD. I feel like I'm Mike Rowe on the channel there where they sell stuff on TV.
Oh yeah.
But folks, remember.
And all the fans and friends of Kenny Rogers, let us know. Like Chuck mentioned, we'll have a great Christmas show together for at the next season. And let us know what your favorite Christmas songs of Kenny's was. I mean, we'd be honored to play those for you.
Yep.
We let the fans out there watching. They can be a part of this. Even they can influence our set list.
Yep.
They throw, like, I personally love Homemade Christmas in Kentucky is my all-time favorite.
Yeah, I love that song.
I love that so much.
Yep.
A friend of mine wrote that song. You're right.
It's
It's great.
another homemade
John,
Christmas scene.
John, you were not authorized to sing. I'm
I know
sorry.
it. I know it. I know I'm not a union member, but anyway.
I'm
But see,
joking. I'm joking.
we should also tell our audience that's watching this all over the world, is that if there's a venue in your area that you think, would enjoy hosting a show, let Chuck know and we would be in contact with them.
Yeah,
There
at
you
the,
go.
Maybe
bo-
there's a venue.
at the bottom of the page, there's a contact form where you can just simply write in and it comes directly to me. So
Yep, there you go.
Sounds good.
There you go. So we want to wrap it up here because we want to give everyone an opportunity to buy that CD, give it out as a gift. And again, watch those dates up top, and maybe we'll see you in Florida. And Chuck, any song that you want to end on? Don, anyone that you want our
It's
audience
just
to hear?
another homemade Christmas in Kentucky. No, that's not on the album. That's
Just
it,
odds
yeah.
and ends I've fashioned
And odds and ends I fashion
from my heart.
with my heart and with my hand.
Right. And you know what? It's ironic that as we sign off here, it's really this week, 4 years ago, Chuck, was the last ever Kenny
that's
show.
right, December 17th.
December 17th.
Anyway, everybody, thanks so much for everybody
thank you.
listening, and we look forward to seeing you in person. Okay.
I'll be home for Christmas, Chuck. We're gonna finish out with that one.
I'll be home for Christmas, just to wait and see. There'll be snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree. Christmas Eve will find me with a love like thee. I'll be home.
Okay, everybody,
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Get
Thanks a
that
lot.
CD now. And
Yes.
we'll see you all in February. Have a great day, everybody. Merry
Thanks a
Christmas.
lot.
Thank you. Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.